Hey, Mike with Row Pest Control here. In today's video, I want to answer the question of do hedge apples work as a form of natural pest control, and what are some different home remedies that do work, others that don't, and should you be doing your own pest control? So one thing to really keep in mind is that when you do your own pest control, while there's different things that you can do that can get some results, it's not going to be as effective as if you went with a pest control service to get rid of pest issues. So one thing that we really recommend, if you do like doing your own pest control, don't stop doing that, but add along with it a treatment from a pest control service, because there's a lot of factors that work a lot better from a pest control service rather than what you're just doing on your own. So one thing that you can certainly do on your own is going to be sealing cracks and crevices and entry points around your home. We call it exclusion in the industry, and that basically is one of the best ways that you can actually prevent pest issues in your home as a form of natural pest control. So most pest issues come from the outside, and if they are happening from the inside, it's because they already got in from the outside, and now they've nested, they've built up an issue, and that's where it came from. So when you prevent pests from getting into your home to begin with, it goes a long way to reduce pest issues that you might be having going on in your home. So that's things like sealing cracks and crevices. That could be sealing entry points underneath doors, windows, various things like that. So some simple steps you can use would be sealing those cracks and crevices, installing door sweeps, adding weather stripping underneath windows, among other things that you can do to improve that exclusion and sealing entry points into your home. Now, this process can be costly, very tedious, and again, it's not really 100% effective all the time, because in reality, it's almost impossible to seal every single entry point into your home. Again, as your home ages, the foundation will develop cracks and crevices as the home shifts over time. So again, some of those might not even be exposed on really the outside, and pests could be getting in along the foundation of your home. So there's, again, not a whole lot you can really do about that. So in a perfect world, sure, maybe you could possibly seal every single entry point into your home, but in reality, that's just not something that's going to happen. But it can go a long way as that foundation to preventing pest issues in your home. Now, when it comes to natural remedies, something like hedge apples, for example, some people swear by them, some people say they don't work at all, and that could be kind of a common theme that you're going to run into when you use natural remedies. So as for these hedge apples, the scientists actually got behind it, did some research on this, and there is chemical compounds in these hedge apples that in highly concentrated amounts of it can do damage to pests, can ward off pests, but in the kind of quantities that it is on a smaller scale in like an individual hedge apple, it's not really going to do a whole lot. At the same time, they're going to rot, they're going to decay, so as these apples do that, that can actually attract pests to you, kind of nullifying the whole purpose to begin with. So in this example, I guess as they say, myth busted, right? It might not do the best job to prevent pest issues. From a scientific standpoint, there are stuff inside it that's similar to some of the stuff that they'll use in pest control products to prevent pests, but on the small quantity scale in an individual apple, it's not going to do a whole lot. Now, there are, of course, some remedies that are effective for treating pests, for getting rid of pests. You know, one example could be using mayonnaise to get rid of lice. So in that instance, you're going to cover your hair in mayonnaise, you'll put on a hairnet, let it set for hours overnight, and what that ends up doing is suffocating those lice. They can't get oxygen, and then they die off. So you could use a variety of things. Again, mayonnaise, different pest control treatments. So like from a chemical standpoint, it's going to do similar things. So that would be one example where a home remedy can be just as effective. Now, there's other remedies. Another great example of things you can do that do work well is creating your own fly trap. So you make basically a contraption where you can take like a 2-liter bottle, for example, or a water bottle or a glass jar, and you seal the top off, or you have a small entry point where pests can get in, the flies can get in, and then on the inside, you have some type of source that's going to attract them. So it could be rotting meat, it could be rotting fruit, soda products, juices, and again, that's going to attract those pests into there. But again, when you cover it with plastic, you have the small holes, they can't really get out, and then they end up falling in. So you use that juice, that water, that rotting meat, whatever the case is, and you put water in there as well, so then these pests end up drowning in that. So there's actually going to be a link in the blog post underneath this video where you can check out how to make your own makeshift fly trap. Now again though, at the same time, while this can be effective for trapping flies and killing adult flies, again, it doesn't necessarily get to the root of the problem where you're getting rid of all the life cycle, all the stages of the flies, of these pests. So sure, it can get rid of some of the numbers and issues that you might be having going on, but it doesn't completely prevent them to begin with, and there isn't really any residual with it either. So one thing to really keep in mind as well is that when you use your own pest control or these home remedies like this, there isn't really any long-term effects for the most part, where that's another benefit of going with a pest control service is they have higher end products that have a residual life where it's going to last longer than just that immediate effect of taking care of those pests on hand, and it can help you prevent other pest issues moving forward. So again, there's a lot of different remedies out there. Some work, some don't, but most cases, more often than not, they're not going to treat the base issue, which is why if you do have pest issues, we really recommend reaching out to a pest control service to have your home treated, take advantage of the higher quality products that those companies have, as well as the residual life to keep those issues from coming back again. So again, hopefully you guys got some benefit and value out of this video. If you did, feel free to comment and share. And then if you do have pest issues, be sure to head on over to rovepestcontrol.com. And if you happen to be a first-time customer with us, you can head on over to rovepestcontrol.com/50 off and fill out the information to get your $50 off your first service with us. So again, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to go to rovepestcontrol.com for any pest control issues. And again, as a first-time customer, you can go to rovepestcontrol.com/50 off to get that great discount. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll talk to you more soon.